Welcome to the Invest in Your Leadership series, where you are going to learn 3 pillars of development that are really going to help you develop your level of confidence, learn to maintain your composure, and help you lead with your strength of character. Because I know those things are important to you. I know you want to feel confident. I know you want to manage what's going on when things go crappy or something goes sideways. And I know that you want to lead with that authenticity and feel strong and in integrity. In this series, we're going to talk about investing into that, into yourself and into developing that excellence for you as you lead your team. And when you're thinking about investing, this is the Invest in Your Leadership series, I want you to think about investing your time, your energy, your money, and your focus. Where do you put your time into developing your leadership? How do you spend your money? How do you focus on developing your leadership? What's the energy that you're putting into developing your leadership? That's what we're going to focus on in this series. Why? So you can lead with excellence. That's what you want to do, right? If you're like me, you've got that overachiever going on sometimes, and you really want to do some amazing work, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. So how do you get back to that in a way that feels good? We're going to talk a lot about personal and professional development, because personal and professional development is your path to success in both your leadership and life. If you're feeling like, I want to do an amazing job as a leader, but sometimes the balance gets off track and sometimes I feel really out of whack, then how do I learn to do that in a way that feels good? It's through personal and professional development. So we're going to focus a lot on that in this series. When I talk about excellence in leadership, I think there are 4 fundamentals that we need to focus on. We need to be ourselves, develop ourselves, take care of ourselves, and teach others to do the same. Being ourselves is that authentic version of you. And if you've ever felt like you're putting on a mask or a facade or a persona when you're going into a meeting or when you show up at work, or perhaps at the end of the day, you feel like you're taking that layer off, that's not authentically you. And we want to learn to be you and lead with that strength of character, who you are, and we're all different. So figuring that out. So be yourself, develop yourself. That's the key. Many of us have moved into leadership without the training, the support, the skills to actually lead. We were good front line, we did our job, but when you move into leadership, there's a different set of skills and interpersonal skills that we need to learn to do the work. So that's that developing yourself. And then taking care of ourselves. Oh my goodness, we burn ourselves out. We run on empty. We live in survival mode. And it just feels like we're in this rat race sometimes. And you're not going to lead with excellence if you're in that state. And on top of that, you're just going to feel crappy, so that your personal life is going to be off. You're going to have no energy left at the end of the day for the rest of your life. And I want that to turn around. I want you to have the energy to make good decisions, to manage your emotions, to go from one meeting to the next, to, at the end of the day, still have some energy left to do what it is you want to do with your loved ones. So be yourself, develop yourself, take care of yourself, and then teach those around you to do the same. Our job as a leader is to set the tone, to develop the culture, to role model these things. And if you're still replying to emails at 10 o'clock at night, that's not role modeling it. If you never develop yourself, never go to courses, never take training, then you're not encouraging your staff to do that themselves too. So be yourself, develop yourself, take care of yourself. And really, this is the key for true leadership, is you're going to take those people that work for you and grow them and develop them into leaders as well. So investment. I want you to think of these podcast series I'm doing. There's 5 in this series. And we're going to talk about 3 pillars that you need to invest into. And those pillars are learning to manage yourself, learning to manage your team, and learning to manage your priorities, theirs and yours. So when you think about investment, again, we're thinking about time, energy, focus, money. How am I investing into learning to manage myself? How am I investing into developing my team? And how am I investing my time, my energy, my focus, my money into better managing our priorities as an organization, as individuals, and as you as a leader? So investing is really slowing down and being more intentional. If you're investing in a retirement savings, or if you're investing in a relationship, you put time, energy, money, focus into that. So that's what I want you to think about in terms of investing. So in this podcast series, today I'm going to just give you an overview. Then in the next 3 sessions, we're going to go through managing yourself, managing your team, and managing your priorities. And then in the 5th one, to wrap it up, we're going to look at, what do I do now that I've got a sense of where I might want to invest more time, energy, focus, money? How do I do it? And you're going to create a plan for moving forward. The key here is that you're going to start to make some mindset shifts. So in each of the 5 episodes, I'm going to give you a mindset shift that I want you to think about. And then additionally, you're going to get a free resource. And then you're going to have a link to a course inside of my membership, the Training Library. If you are a member of the Training Library, you'll be able to jump in and do that course and move forward with those ideas and invest that time and energy into developing that part of you. If you're not a member, it's just some insights into what's in the Training Library. If you're not familiar with the Training Library, imagine getting the training you need when you need it. That's what the Training Library is. Inside the Training Library is the courses you need to develop yourself so that you can lead with confidence. Again, you're going to learn to build that confidence, learn how to maintain your composure, and lead with that strength of character so that you can be yourself. It's so important to feel authentic. That's part of what gives you that level of confidence. You'll learn to become confident in your leadership abilities. You'll be able to bounce back when adversity hits, because it always does. And inside the Training Library, you'll find that place to belong. There are courses, oodles of courses. It's a library. You just pick the course out or the chapter or the lesson that you need for the day. But also once a month, I do a open Zoom call where you get to join me and your peers, ask questions, learn some things, maybe get a little bit of free coaching. That is an investment, but it's not a big investment. It's $20 a month, $19.97. And so when you're thinking about where can you get the training you need when you need it at the spur of the moment, when you're going into that tough conversation or you're struggling with managing your emotions or you're feeling like you're out of balance and going on burnout, where do I get the help I need now, today? I need to coach this team member through something. How do I do that? In the Training Library, you can immediately get access to those courses. So that's what the Training Library is. It is on-demand learning for you to be your best self. So in each of these podcast episodes, you're going to get a link to the Training Library to check it out. So a little bit of training, a free guide, a mindset shift, and then a link to a course in the Training Library. Let's dive into today's topic. I want to talk about survival mode today. Now, many of us in the sector know that that's just the way it is. This is the sector, right? It's always been a sort of, you just race through things, you're whacking moles, you're doing the job, and there's never enough time. There is never enough resources, and you're always feeling frazzled. That's survival mode. Survival mode is characterized by fear. You're afraid of dropping the ball. You're afraid of falling apart. You're afraid of losing track of something. You're afraid of not doing what you need to do. And it feels like we're barely hanging on. We're just trying to stay alive. Now, I'm here to tell you, you do not have to stay in survival mode. It is not just something the sector is. It is a place where we often are, but we can choose to shift that. And so I've created a continuum of surviving to thriving. So the podcast's called Surviving to Thriving. I want you to move from surviving to perhaps coping to thriving. Because if you stay stuck in survival mode, everything feels like a battle. You really have no energy. Your mood, your manner, it just gets dark or heavy or frustrating. And it feels very much isolated and alone. You feel like you're the only one there. I know, I've been there more times than I care to count. And you do not have to stay there. So this is the mindset shift I want you to make. I want you to shift from it's just the sector, it's always like this, there's nothing I can do, to I choose my experience of leadership. I create my experience of leadership, and you can. You do not have to stay stuck in survival mode. You do not have to stay there and just feel like there's nothing you can do about it. You can start to create, and that's why I want you to listen to all of these 5 episodes. You can start to create a different experience of leadership. So the free resource that I'm giving you is the Surviving to Thriving Continuum. You're going to look at it and you get to evaluate where you are on that. And then you get to start to create that plan to change that. I'm here. I don't want to be here. Where do I want to be? So that free link is below. For those of you in the Training Library, or those of you who are curious about the Training Library, I'm including a link to a lesson in the annual analysis course. So the annual analysis course is a review of your whole year and your growth and development and helps set you on the path for the following year. In that course, there is a review of your values. So I'm giving you a link to that, whether you're a member or not. It is free, so you can check it out and get a sense of what it's like to be in the Training Library. Personal and professional development really is your path to success in both leadership and life. You need to invest in your growth and development. It is not a nice to have, it is a must have. It is the work of leadership. Leaders that excel do that inner work. They do the work to grow themselves and develop themselves. When you invest in your leadership, you're going to build your sense of confidence. You're going to learn to maintain your composure, and you're going to feel like you're leading with that strength of character. If this has been helpful for you, please share this episode with another woman leader who really wants to invest in themselves so that they can develop that confidence, composure, and their character as well. Go make the rest of your day awesome, my dear. Want to know what to watch next? Watch this one and you'll learn about why staying in survival mode is not good for your team.